At the center of this paradise was a garden called Eden. And into this garden, God placed the first human, Adam. He was made with care, not like the animals, but in the very image of the Creator. Adam had purpose. He named the animals, tended the garden, and walked in perfect harmony with God. There was no pain, no death, no shame, only peace. But Adam was alone, and God saw that he needed a partner. So, from Adam's own side, God formed a woman, Eve. She wasn't made from the ground, but from Adam himself, showing how closely connected they were meant to be. Together, Adam and Eve lived in perfect unity, not just with each other, but with all of creation and with God himself. In Eden, they were given freedom. They could eat from any tree, explore, build, and enjoy all that had been created. But there was one boundary, a single tree they were not to touch, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It wasn't a trap, but a choice. True love and trust always require the freedom to say yes or no. Then came the serpent. Clever and deceptive, it whispered lies into Eve's ear. It made her doubt God's goodness and question his instructions. If you eat this, it suggested, you won't die. In fact, you'll become like God. Tempted by the idea of more, Eve took the fruit and ate it. Then she gave it to Adam, who also ate. And in that moment, everything changed. Their eyes were opened, but not in the way they had hoped. Suddenly, they were aware of their nakedness. Shame flooded in. They hid from each other and from God. What had once been pure and open was now broken. When God came looking for them, calling them gently, they were afraid. They tried to cover themselves. They blamed one another. The connection they once had, with each other and with God, had been shattered. As a result of their choice, they were sent out of the garden. Life would now be harder. Work would be tiring. Pain would come. Death had entered the world. But even in that moment of sorrow, God didn't abandon them. He covered them, protected them, and made a promise that one day, a descendant of Eve would come and crush the head of the serpent, the deceiver. One day, the way back would be opened. Adam and Eve lived long lives. They had children. They watched the world grow and change. But the garden was no longer home. The closeness they once had with God was lost. Yet even in their fall, their story became the beginning of something greater. The beginning of a rescue plan. A plan to restore what was lost. A plan that would one day be fulfilled through Jesus, the one who would make the way back to the heart of God.